Hey, it's Kevin Cross, CPA again, talking about conventional wisdom with a K. Today I'm going to talk about the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Plan. I've been getting quite a bit of questions from my clients asking me how to fill it out. So I know if my clients have this question, then you may have the same question. So Friday, it got rolled out. And on Friday, there was a bottleneck and not too many of the banks were actually processing the PPP. You probably found that out. And here we are on the next business day, Monday, and we're asking the same question. Are there other banks that can take this? And this is what I've discovered. I've discovered that the bank that you bank with may not in fact be the bank that you will process the PPP with, even though you must process a PPP with your bank. Think about that for a moment. We'll just hypothetically say you have an account at Wells Fargo. You go to wellsfargo.com and you'll discover that on Friday they said we're not ready yet. The weekend they weren't ready. Today they said we gave out all of our loans. Sorry. Literally your jaw dropped. You're going, I thought it was a big bank. I thought, and you might say that happened to me with my bank too. It might be Chase. So what I've discovered is, let me give you a hack, if you will, to the PPP. The payroll Paycheck Protection Plan hack, we'll call this. One of the fundamental building blocks of getting a PPP filed is having a relationship with the bank, having an account. Unfortunately, that account will be funded by that institution. The institution will get the money from the government, process it, underwrite it, and give you the money. That's kind of the working process of the PPP under the CARES Act, the $2 trillion. So, first thing is we need to establish a relationship with the bank. If it's not the bank you've been with for your whole life, or your bank says, sorry, we gave all the money out. Tough. And then all of a sudden you're listening to Steve Mnuchin saying, don't worry, we have plenty of money. Just, well, I'll go back to Congress if I have to, Steve Mnuchin said. And your bank's saying, sorry, we don't have any money. You go, wait, how do I deal with that? I just need to make payroll. Okay. So my advice is to find a banker at a local branch, at a local bank in your area. Literally call them up and say, hey, look, it's a crazy call, but I want to open a business account. I have one with Dewey, Cheatham and Howe or whoever, and they closed the program. I need a PPP. And see if they are open. See if maybe there's a banker who can take your account. Now here's what I've been finding out with your banker. Call it your banker, old school. The banker has to have an account with you, and for them to have this account, you're going to have to literally open an account. Okay, so say you get through that and you say, okay, Kevin, I got an affiliation, I got a bank, I got a local bank, I got all that. That bottleneck is not an issue. One is checked off, but I can tell you this, many of you who watch this video are not going to be able to even process a PPP because you don't have a relationship. I also notice QuickBooks, of all. They're a financial institution, they are offering the PPP loan. So there's a lot of little banks, so to speak, financial institutions that are stepping into the spot so that people like you and I, our clients, Main Street, the people who need the economic stimulus will be able to have it. Okay, number 2, filling out the PPP. It's really, I call it a 3-part process. One, we'll say A, 3-part. One, you're gonna have to do this little PPP form. It's an actual form that the government has kind of, I think it's a 5-page form, but there's really only 1 page of information. Okay, and that 1 page, you tell them, name, rank, and serial number, your company name, the federal tax ID number, who to contact, your email address, and then underneath it, there's this financial kind of just a little small little thing. It's going to show how much payroll, your average payroll by month, and then it's going to multiply times 2.5. It's going to give you the total amount of the PPP, this injection of cash, this loan, so to speak, that you don't have to pay back if you use it for payroll. And right under it, you're going to see something that's going to confuse you because you're going to have to prove the payroll numbers. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But underneath, it's going to ask you, are you going to use this for payroll? Are you going to use this for rent? Are you going to use this for utilities? Are you going to use it for other? Now, it sounds very understandable. However, what we're going to prove on the PPP is just payroll. So if you check the box payroll, you check the box rent, you check the box utilities, you check the box other, you put whatever, there's not much proof. Now, the part 3 of this application is you're going to supply the proof for mostly the payroll. Okay, so the first part is the application. The second is, like I mentioned, a proprietary form. It looks like a spreadsheet that the banks are going to use to verify our monthly payroll. They're going to put their little logo on it. It's literally, I don't know who created, maybe the government did, but it's literally a spreadsheet. They put their little logo, cut and paste, and when you put your payroll for 2019 and your first 2 months of payroll in 2020, you're going to have what's called an average monthly payroll. So if your monthly payroll was $2,000 one month and $3,000 the next month and $1,000 the next month, they would take all of that, essentially add them all up and divide it, and this would be your average monthly payroll. Average monthly payroll times 2.5. In this case, if it was $2,000 was the average, they would say you'd have available to you $5,000 for a PPP. Makes perfect sense until you think about this next line where it says, will you use this for payroll? Will you use any PPP for rent or utilities? Well, this amount is only for payroll. So it's going to be a little confusing. And then, of course, the part 1 is this actual form, the PPP form. Part 2 is the spreadsheet, we'll call it. And part 3 is what you're going to upload. You're going to upload things like the 941s for 2019, and you're going to upload the 940s for 2019. Very important. Now, if you're with a payroll company, some of the major ones like ADP, they make it real easy. They give you this wonderful sheet to upload. You're going to upload that. It's going to show your payroll. It's going to have this beautiful little thing that says CARES Act on it. And then they're going to ask you to upload a government document like a driver's license. Now, also in there, this is where this comes in, I believe. You're going to have an opportunity to upload a lease, and you're going to upload other things like utilities and medical insurance that you pay on behalf of your employees. And get this, say you put in retirement money for your employees. Say you're a small business and you say, hey, look, we've been incentivizing our employees, we've been giving 6% matching, and we're trying to do this and we don't want to cut it. You upload that document, who is it, Franklin Funds or whatever, Schwab, whatever, you're going to upload that document. And then that's going to have some type of call it the Rubik's Cube into this additional money, even though $5,000 is what you're asking for. So at the end of the day, you'll be thoroughly confused. If you're not thoroughly confused about the PPP application, then nothing confuses. And I believe Einstein said there's only one thing that I don't understand, it's the tax code. Well, this would be something he wouldn't understand either. Okay, so you're going to do all this in hopes that you're going to get the $5,000, and in hopes that you might get one of these other boxes like rent and utilities. What I see, I have no crystal ball, I have no experience. I did have a couple of these accepted this week. It hasn't been funded yet. But what I see is that you'll get the $5,000, and if you upload the documents, there's either you'll get additional money or you'll get the opportunity to get additional money when you spend. So that's the $1 million question. Will I get more than what I've asked for? You should, based on this application. If they put anything on here in regards to rent and utilities, then why should this number not be impacted? That's the conventional wisdom. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully this makes the PPP process a little easier. Join me next time and like this video. My name is Kevin Cross, CPA, and this is for Conventional Wisdom.